Brian Myrrh. What can I say about Brian Myrrh? Well, he and I are in a okay standings.
Would you care to elaborate?
I would not care to elaborate.
Could you tell us about that thing on your hand?
Bloody strange people. This is known as the Poppins Glove. I was hired by King Edward to pursue a woman masquerading as a nanny who had the capability to manipulate reality. And she was kidnapping children, and she was popping in and out of people's houses and really scaring a lot of folks. So, I was given the task of constructing this monstrosity. Do you understand how it works?
No.
No, of course you don't. You didn't spend half your bloody career inventing it, did you? You weren't the one who had to go into King Edward and say, "Oh, good morning, Your Highness. By the way, that tea you're drinking, it's not real. Reality is not a thing anymore, by the way. And you know, just so you know, Your Highness, reality is something that can be changed, by the way." No, you don't want that job. That's what this is for. It's a bloody dangerous thing. Want to ask me about this? No. It's a bloody dangerous thing. It could make you not around anymore. It could make me not. And look what it did. I never know what it's going to do.
Chim chim chiree.
Don't even start. Don't even bloody start about that creature.
Could you tell us about Mr. Myrrh?
Now, Miss Kingston is one of the newest members of the company. She's come on as our secretary. Very much obsessed with stories. And, well, she's come to the right place. Because each of us, well, we're just a bunch of crazy people who, you know, travel through dimensions and just enjoy ourselves. And all of us have very interesting things to say. So, I do believe that Miss Kingston will fit in perfectly here.
What about Miss Kingston, one of the newer members of the company?
She's such an intuitive individual, always trying to learn people's stories. I don't see her. Is she coming by today, by the way?
Yeah.
Good to hear she's coming by, because I'm sure she wants to hear all about our tales. That's what she likes. She likes to hear about tales and writing. Her books, the books are so beautiful. It's like history in the making, watching it being written. I read about history, we'll read about history. But time travel, very, very complicated. I'll have to explain that another day. And please do not shoot me, Holt, or else I will shoot you in the face with this gun that I'm not quite sure what it does. But yes, Kingston is a very interesting individual.
Alright. Thank you, Andrew.
Have a good day.
Miss Kingston, I haven't really gotten to, talk one-on-one with her, but she seems like a fine young lady.
Nosy. Very nosy. Maybe I'll tell her a thing, or stretch the truth, but yeah, she'll get her story one way or the other.
How did you meet Mr. Quince?
Well, Quince and I were actually inside of the great airship wars against the airship pirates.
Tell us about those times.
Well, you see, what happened was we were both in the same company, of course, and I think we bonded quite well, very fast. We actually got to meet each other's acquaintances, and we fought side by side all the time. I remember this one instance, actually, when we kind of got the drop on one of the pirates' airships, I should say, and our whole company got to fight them off. I lost sight of Quince a while inside of the battle, but when we came back, he seemed like he was a little distraught. Turns out, from what I was understood, was that company of pirates was the ones who took out his parents.
How did you get acquainted with Mr. Quince?
Well, to be quite honest, I was drunk, but you should ask him about it later.
How did you get acquainted with Mr. Quince?
I met him in a bar while I was complaining about how I was running out of money for my traveling and storytelling. Yep, he overheard me, the little eavesdropping minx, and welcomed me into the company when I asked for a job.
Alright, could you tell us how you became acquainted with Mr. Quince?
Well, it was a fine day. I just got back from my assaults on the Myrrh facility in the mid-21st century, actually, and my artifact, this fine device, I actually keep in my pocket at all times. It's a plastic device, actually, well made of plastic. You don't know what plastic is, but it's this right here. It has the ability to time travel and other things, but it's quite random. Oh, I'm sorry, please don't stare at my crotch. It's right here. Beautiful device, isn't it? And it activated, actually, after assaulting the Myrrh facility, which is where I got this portion of the weapon and a different clip. That clip blew up, and actually, funny thing about that clip is when it blew up, it actually disappeared my hand of another dimension because I was attempting to utilize certain quantum energies, and it blew up, and my hand is lost. I don't know where it is. It appears every once in a while, so, you know, for the sake of continuity, if I do have a hand, it's because it's in this dimension currently, but I think it's in another dimension at the moment, or it's at least in multiple different dimensions. Anyway, so I just got back from assaulting the Myrrh facility and getting this part of the gun. The rest of the gun is modifications to my Mr. Holt and various other people, but Holt assisted me in this very beautiful individual. He is very beautiful, if I might say myself. Point is, I just got done with, you know what, you can stop calling me that, Holt, and I just got done assaulting the Myrrh facility and reactivated because I was surrounded. I was a dead man back then, and it took me back to my own time. Well, your time, actually. My time is later. But the mid-1900s took me back, and I'd spent a few days in this town, probably a year or so, I don't know. Became a mercenary, killed a few people, and a small adventuring crew came by. They have Quince Company, and I said, well, you know what I want to see? So I want to see the world. Besides, the authorities were chasing me at the moment, so I figured, hell, it's probably a good way to get on the run. That's how I came into contact with you individuals, you crazy individuals. You're quite insane.
Not as insane as you. How did you get acquainted with Mr. Quince?
Well, I was just about 10 years old when he came to my estate and stole me away. He really took me on as his apprentice, but he stole me away from my mother, which is thank God, because that woman, either way.
What has been your favorite adventure with the company?
Very good adventures, and we had a small adventure downtown Denver, mid-21st century, I think, using time travel and wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey stuff. I think we just went down there and sang and entertained the people, which is so beautiful to entertain the people.
I wasn't invited to.
You were invited, but you just didn't come. I think you had something to do. You always have your games and your manipulations of people. But yes, it was quite enjoyable.
What is your favorite adventure you have embarked on with the company?
Well, there was this one time where we went on this spaceship and there were dinosaurs, and it was all very relative, but probably shouldn't have happened at all, ever. But, you know, good times. Definitely showed the strengths of the company.
What has been your favorite adventure with the company thus far?
I'd have to say, probably when we met this musical crew called Abbey Park. That was a fabulous trip. Very, very elegant. Very, very loud.
What has been your favorite adventure with the company?
My favorite adventure with the company? Well, they're all so good, I don't think I can decide which one.
What has been your favorite adventure with the company?
I haven't gone on any. I don't associate with adventurers. I'm a police officer and a scientist.
What has been your favorite adventure with the company?
What? I'll just go with gold, and some of the other things are a bit risque.
Could you elaborate a bit further?
You know, instruments and people and shenanigans.
Ah.
Well, I hope this has been a very intuitive look at the lives of the members of Quince Company. Thank you for coming, and I hope you very much... Wait, where are you going?